Have you ever felt like your heart knew something long before your mind could explain it? As if your soul was whispering to you in the silence, trying to prepare you for a moment that could change everything? Lately, you may have noticed a strange pull within, something unspoken yet undeniable. It's as if the atmosphere around you is shifting, like the calm before a wave crashes onto the shore. You can't see it, but you can feel it. That slight restlessness, that occasional glance toward your phone, the way your chest tightens for no reason. Yes, it's real. And it's happening for a reason. What if I told you that someone, yes, someone you've been thinking about, is preparing to say something they've held inside for far too long? A heartfelt confession is on its way to you. And no, it's not a coincidence that you've been dreaming of them more often, hearing their name unexpectedly, or feeling their presence in places they aren't physically present. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might just explain the emotional whirlpool you've been swimming in. This isn't just about love or longing, it's about truth. A truth that's been buried under fear, doubt, and silence, but not for much longer. You may be feeling confused, hopeful yet anxious. That's completely normal when your spirit senses that something is approaching. Maybe you've caught yourself wondering, why am I thinking about this person so much lately? Or, why do I feel like something big is about to be revealed? Perhaps you've noticed more signs than usual, repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or maybe you've been seeing red roses in random places, hearing a song that reminds you of them again and again, or simply waking up with their name in your heart. None of this is by chance. The universe is aligning moments, emotions, and energy to bring a message to you. And that message will be wrapped in a confession. In this video, we're going to explore the emotions, the divine nudges, and the profound realizations that are being sent your way. You're not just imagining things. Someone is being divinely guided to open up, to share, to finally say what their heart has carried in silence for too long. By the end of this message, you'll understand why you've been feeling this emotional build-up. You'll realize that you've been energetically preparing to receive not just words, but a truth that could change your emotional reality. The angels are setting the stage. The moment is near. And the confession you've waited for? It's closer than you think. Since the dawn of time, human beings have yearned to understand the mysterious rhythms of the universe, why we feel drawn to certain people, how emotions seem to transcend distance, and what it means when we sense something before it even happens. Cultures across the world have spoken of soul connections, divine timing, and emotional confessions that carry the weight of lifetimes. From ancient texts in India to the scrolls of Egypt, there's always been the belief that the heart holds truths the mind cannot fully grasp. The Vedas spoke of Hridaya, the sacred heart, where emotion, truth, and spirit converge. The Egyptians believed in Marat, the balance of truth and cosmic justice, where hidden truths were eventually revealed in divine time. Isn't it fascinating how different civilizations, separated by oceans and centuries, all agreed on one thing: the heart never lies? Let's bring it to today, because even in this modern, digital world, we're not so different. That stirring you feel when someone's energy enters the room, even if they haven't spoken a word? That sudden flash of memory that leaves you breathless for a moment? These are not just random neurological glitches. These are moments where your soul is picking up what your logic cannot. They're spiritual antennas, finely tuned to the people who are meant to cross your path, and sometimes re-enter it. You see, a confession isn't just a string of words. It's a sacred exchange. It's someone laying down their armor, placing their heart before you, and saying, "This is what I've felt, even when I couldn't say it." And in many cases, these confessions don't come out of nowhere. They come after a period of inner wrestling, a tug-of-war between the head and the heart. The person who's about to confess something to you has likely been in that struggle. Maybe for weeks, maybe for months, maybe even longer. There's a reason this message is reaching you now. Spirit wants you to understand that there's a build-up happening, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. You might be the recipient of words that have been delayed by fear, pride, or confusion. But the energy is shifting. The divine timeline is activating. Let me share a story, a real one. Not too long ago, a woman wrote to us saying she had been dreaming of her ex-partner almost every night for 2 weeks. These weren't just dreams, she said. They were vivid, emotional. In every dream, he wanted to say something, but something would stop him. Then one morning, she woke up to a message from him after over a year of silence. It was long, honest, and filled with emotions he had buried. His words, "I've been meaning to say this for so long. I just didn't know how." Coincidence? Or the universe whispering through dreams, emotions, and energy, preparing her for the confession? Now pause. Think about your own experiences. Have you felt someone tugging at your spirit lately? Have you caught yourself missing someone deeply without understanding why? These aren't just leftover feelings. They may be active connections. Open portals waiting to be completed through communication. Sometimes, before a confession comes, you'll notice more emotional triggers, random moments where you tear up, feel heavy or nostalgic. That's the body preparing itself for emotional truth. That's the universe softening your heart, so you'll be ready to receive what's coming. It's like being in tune with a song before the lyrics even start. You're feeling the music of someone else's heart, even before they've played the first note. The beauty of a heartfelt confession isn't just in the courage it takes to speak, but in the sacred energy it carries. It's a bridge between souls. It's the moment when silence gives way to understanding. And when that moment is divinely timed, everything around it begins to align. People return, words flow, and what was once buried finally sees light. This is the foundation we needed to understand. This isn't just about someone saying, "I miss you," or "I love you." It's about a divine release of energy that was meant to reach you. And now, the gates are opening. Signs, symbols, synchronicities. The universe speaks in ways more subtle than words, through feelings, patterns, and divine nudges that seem too precise to be random. Have you been seeing repeated numbers, like 111, 222, or even 911? These are angel numbers, and they carry vibrations meant specifically for your soul's journey. 111 is a sign of new beginnings and alignment. 222 signals partnerships and balance, often indicating a person returning or truth coming to light. 911, though often misunderstood, is a spiritual emergency number, alerting you to an upcoming shift, sometimes emotional or revelatory. If these numbers have followed you lately, it's not a coincidence. It's heaven's way of tapping your shoulder. But it doesn't stop there. Have you experienced emotional flashbacks, where a memory of someone suddenly replays in your mind with no trigger at all? Or a scent that reminds you of them? Or maybe you hear a song and suddenly feel as if it was written just for your current situation. These are emotional portals. They are signs that someone, somewhere, is emotionally focused on you. That person could be energetically connected to your frequency, and preparing to confess something they've hidden or held back. Sometimes a soul will ping you, like a spiritual message that travels through the heart, alerting you to pay attention. In dreams, this becomes even more powerful. If someone appears in your dream multiple times, especially in emotionally heavy ways, it means their energy is seeking closure, connection, or confession. Spirit often uses dreams to rehearse what's coming. It's not fantasy, it's a preview. Here's where it gets deeper. Have you found yourself speaking to this person in your head? Not just remembering, but talking to them mentally, maybe saying what you wished you could say, or imagining what they might say to you. This isn't just your imagination running wild. It could be telepathic communication, especially when the emotional bond is deep. Empaths and spiritual souls often experience this when a message is trying to travel through the spiritual plane before it arrives in the physical world. Now think about this. Have you felt unusual emotional waves? One moment you're fine, the next, overwhelmed, sometimes with no reason at all. These could be emotional echoes, vibrations of someone else's inner turmoil being felt by you. It happens most often when the other person is wrestling with something emotionally significant, like preparing to tell you the truth. You see, when a person is getting ready to confess something from the depths of their heart, their energy shifts. They become more present in your spiritual space, even before they've said a single word. You might sense it as anxiety, warmth, pressure in your chest, or even goosebumps without a physical cause. Even the behavior of technology can reflect signs. You suddenly see their name while scrolling, a song they once shared pops up randomly, or your phone suggests a memory featuring them. Algorithms? Maybe. But sometimes, even tech becomes a vessel for spiritual signs. Nature also speaks. Birds crossing your path, feathers showing up unexpectedly, or butterflies lingering near you. These are spirit affirmations, letting you know that angels are near and that a divine message is unfolding. So what do you do with all these signs? You stay open, not obsessed. You listen, but you don't chase. You align your heart with peace and trust that when the message comes, it will be undeniable. Because here's what's real. The spiritual realm always moves before the physical world catches up. Long before the confession arrives, it is written in spirit. It is spoken in silence. It is felt before it is heard. Right now, the energy is ripe. The signs are converging. The emotional air is thick with meaning. And you are being prepared to receive something sacred. It won't be just an apology. It won't be just a, "I miss you." It will be more. A truth from someone who once held back, now ready to be vulnerable. Your job isn't to guess the moment. It's to recognize the unfolding. Because when it happens, you'll know. Not just with your ears, but with your soul. And every sign you've seen so far will suddenly make perfect, divine sense. There's something sacred happening inside them. Something that even they may not fully understand. You see, confession doesn't come easy. Especially not the kind that could change everything. Especially not when the heart has been through storms, silence, or suffering. This person, the one who's about to speak their truth, has been living with emotional conflict. On the outside, they may appear fine, going through their days like everything is normal. But within, there's a war. Between fear and honesty. Between regret and hope. Between the version of themselves they showed you, and the version they wish they had been. They may have spent nights wrestling with their thoughts. Wondering, should I say it? What if it's too late? What if they don't believe me? Or worse, what if they've already moved on? These questions don't just touch the mind, they burn through the soul. That's because this isn't just a casual admission. It's a soul confession. The kind that comes when a person is ready to be bare, vulnerable, and fully real. Spiritually, they're being nudged by something greater than guilt. It's a force called divine alignment. It's what happens when someone can no longer carry the weight of their silence, because their soul longs for freedom, for healing, for redemption. But what's been stopping them until now? Two things: fear of rejection and shame. They've imagined your reaction 1,000 times, and with each imagined reaction, they created more reasons to delay. Maybe they ghosted you. Maybe they left without clarity. Maybe they said words they now wish they never had. And now, their mind is looping through everything they said and everything they didn't. Regret is echoing. Psychologically, this process is called cognitive dissonance. When a person's actions no longer match the truth in their heart, it creates inner stress. It creates restlessness. And eventually, it creates a deep need to confess and correct. It's not just about fixing things with you, it's about making peace with themselves. Because your presence, whether you realize it or not, changed something in them. You awakened parts of them that they had locked away for years. You held up a mirror, and they saw not just who they were, but who they could be. And that realization, it scared them. When someone has lived most of their life guarded, unhealed, or avoiding truth, they will sometimes push away the very person who brings light to their darkness. Not because they don't care, but because they feel unworthy of being truly seen. But time has its way of softening edges, of bringing perspective. They've watched from a distance, maybe through social media, maybe through mutual friends, maybe just spiritually. But they've seen you evolve, grow, glow, and that image haunts them, not out of jealousy, but out of longing, a deep longing to finally do right by you. Emotionally, their heart is exhausted. The burden of silence is too heavy now. They're realizing that confession isn't weakness, it's freedom. And spiritually, their soul is being guided. Guided by guilt, yes, but also by love. Yes, love. Because deep down, under all the layers of pride, fear, and silence, there is love. Maybe it was never said the way it should have been. Maybe it was hidden beneath actions that confused you. But it was always there, dormant, but alive. Now it's awakening. Now the truth is rising. And you're not just a listener in this story. You're the one their heart trusts enough to be vulnerable with. You're the one they're choosing to be honest with, even if it scares them. So, when that moment comes, and it will, you'll see the difference. This won't be a rehearsed apology. This won't be half-hearted. It will be raw. It will be trembling. It will be real. Because real confession carries emotion in its voice, tremble in its hands, and truth in its eyes. And when that truth is finally spoken, it will bring healing not just to them, but to you too. Because hearing what you always knew deep down, but never heard aloud, has a power of its own. It breaks chains. It sets souls free. And it changes everything. Beloved soul, listen closely. This message is not just about them. This is about you. About your journey. About what the heavens are preparing you to receive. When someone prepares to confess their truth, the divine doesn't only work on their heart. He begins preparing your spirit too. Why? Because receiving a confession is just as sacred as making one. And right now, your angels are surrounding you. They're softening your heart, strengthening your discernment, and aligning your energy with peace. Because what's coming is not just words, it's energy. It's a vibration. It's truth wrapped in vulnerability. And not every heart is ready to handle that. But yours is being made ready. Spiritually, you are being positioned to stand in a space of grace. Not judgment. Not bitterness. But grace. Why? Because your destiny isn't tied to revenge. It's tied to healing. And healing can only flow where there is space for truth and transformation. You've already endured the waiting. You've already lived through the silence. And heaven saw it all. The confusion. The prayers. The moments when you wondered, was it even real? The moments you questioned your worth. All of that was seen. All of that was held. And now comes the unveiling. But before that unveiling happens, you must understand something sacred. Not every confession is an invitation to reconnect, but every confession is an invitation to heal. You may hear words you've longed for. You may receive closure you thought would never come. You may feel tears rise, not out of pain, but out of relief, because what's been in the dark is finally coming into the light. This is the moment your soul has been sensing. That gentle stirring you've been feeling, that inner shift, that's heaven whispering, get ready to hear the truth. Get ready to feel understood. Get ready to finally know what they carried in silence. But also, get ready to choose your path, without pressure, without guilt. Because even though they're about to speak, you still get to decide how you receive it. And here's what the angels want you to know. 1. You are not obligated to reopen old wounds. You have every right to listen with compassion and protect your peace. 2. You are allowed to forgive and still walk away. Forgiveness is about your freedom, not their access. 3. You are strong enough to respond from your higher self, even if the pain was deep. Even if the story was unfair, because you're not the same person you were when they left. You've evolved. You've grown. You've reconnected with your own light. And now, you're being asked to meet this moment not with fear, but with wisdom. The heavens are asking, can you hold space for their truth, without losing yours? Can you allow their vulnerability to reach you, without letting it control you? Can you receive what's said, and still choose what's right for your soul? You are not being tested. You are being trusted. Trusted with truth. Trusted with healing. Trusted with the next chapter of your life. And maybe, just maybe, this chapter won't end the way the last one did, because this time, everything is being brought into the light. So breathe, surrender, and prepare, because when truth walks through your door, you'll be ready to receive it, not with fear, not with anger, but with the calm power of someone who knows they are divinely protected. You are not here by accident. This moment is not random. You were meant to hear their truth, and whether it becomes a new beginning or a beautiful closure, your heart will know what to do. You won't be alone in this. Heaven will stand with you, and your soul will rise. My beloved child, I have watched you in your silent seasons. I have counted the tears no one saw, and I held your trembling heart when words failed you. You thought I was silent, but I was preparing the moment. I was softening hearts. I was working behind the scenes while you slept. And now I am telling you this. The time has come. The one who left you confused, broken, and searching for answers. They are coming forward, not to defend, not to debate, but to confess, to tell you what they couldn't before, what fear buried, what guilt silenced, what ego blocked. They have wrestled in the night. They have wept behind closed doors. And in those hidden places, I met them. I whispered truth into their heart. I showed them visions of the pain they caused. I brought them to the edge of their own soul, and I asked them, will you speak the truth? And now they're ready, not because you chased, not because you begged, but because I have ordained it. This is not about romance or revenge. This is about restoration. You are not being called to fix anything. You are being called to witness what I've done. You see, I am not just the God of comfort. I am the God of completion. And where there were broken pieces, I am bringing wholeness. Where there was confusion, I am bringing clarity. Where there was silence, I am bringing truth. You are not crazy. You are not forgotten. You were not imagining what your spirit felt. Every nudge you felt, every dream you had, every whisper you heard in the quiet, that was me. And now, I am bringing it full circle. You don't need to fear what's coming, because what's coming is not to break you. It's to honor the strength you've shown while being misunderstood. You stood with grace. You walked in integrity. You stayed kind in a world that tried to harden you. And I have seen it all. Now, I will honor it. So when this person steps into your life again, whether through a message, a phone call, or face-to-face, do not be shaken. Listen with your spirit. Discern with your heart. And remember, you have nothing to prove. You are not the same person who was left in pieces. You are the person I have rebuilt, stronger, wiser, and radiant with divine light. Let my peace be your boundary. Let my wisdom be your compass. And let my love be your shield. No matter what they say, no matter what truth is revealed, you are safe in me. And know this: if this is the beginning of a divine reunion, I will guide it. If this is the final release of a karmic lesson, I will carry you through it. Either way, you will win, because those who walk with me never lose. You are not waiting anymore. You are receiving. You are not hoping blindly. You are being shown clearly. And you are not lost. You are exactly where I want you to be. Hold your head high, my beloved. The confession is coming. The truth will be spoken. And your soul will finally rest in the knowing: I was with you then. I am with you now. And I will be with you, always.